Are at Peter and Rosina Filippelli's house.
You could hang around for another hour or something and ask to see the living room, and you might,
The
because
living room, yeah?
yeah, the living room.
What is that special?
Well, it's, other than the drafting room, it's the most beautiful room in the place, so that's what's there special. It's very, it's where we ate.
I think it's going to be.
Everybody did it, but I was so kind and somehow.
Here we are with Peter Filippelli in his home, having an interview. Peter lives in Marin County. Peter, how long have you been in Subud?
Since 1959.
And how has it been for you?
How's it been? It has its ups, it has its downs. What do you mean, how's it been? Been a wonderful experience, a great life.
How did you feel when you got the news that Bapak had passed away?
Well, I was sad. I would miss him. I was sad that my children would not know him. But on the other hand, I was very happy that he has passed away. And since the immediate impact of his death has subsided, I started to realize that this was a great event for Subud, spurring something that will help Subud grow more so than anything else that we could possibly have given him.
You've been around Bapak quite a lot over the years. Do you have any particular stories or any incidents that you might like to share with us?
Someone's asked that question several times, and nothing comes to my mind. The only thing that really comes to my mind that I can think of is Bapak and my wife both insisting that we would have children. And it was always my feeling that everybody was crazy. Bapak didn't know what he was talking about, and my wife was desperate. She wanted a child, so she would listen to Bapak. And he would tell me this every time I would meet him. I would have a child. I said, no, we're not going to have a child. And finally we did have a child. And he was as happy as me, maybe happier. And one time he sent Sharif Gardner to me because Sharif Gardner couldn't have children. And he says, well, go see Peter. He'll tell you how to have children. And Peter, he comes to see me, and he says, well, what's the secret? I looked at him and says, how do I know? I said, I have no way of helping you. Poor Sharif, I couldn't help him. And that's the story that mainly lingers in my mind, is that Bapak knew. He knew that I would have a child. Children. He named them off, 3 children. In fact, the last time I was in Los Angeles, he said that we had one more. And I said, oh no, Bapak, can't possibly happen. Well, my wife wasn't pregnant, but it was an ectopic pregnancy and we lost it. But he even saw that.
Well, was there a reason why you felt that you could not have children?
Oh, we were going so long without children. Nothing to indicate that we would. And my pessimistic nature, I would force myself to look on the dark side of things, and I believed that we were going to have them. So I hoped for the best, but I believed that the worst would happen.
Yeah. Did Bapak stay in your house in San Francisco one time, or?
Right, he stayed at the Grove Street house.
The house you had on Grove Street in San Francisco. Yeah. How was that for you when having your house and Bapak staying there?
It was wonderful.
Wonderful
experience.
Anything special happened that time?
Yeah, that's when Rosina got pregnant, I believe. or thereabouts, a year here, a year there. I don't remember exactly, but it had a lot to do with that.
Yeah. How do you feel about the future of Subud?
I think it's great. I think that the Subud is going to grow. It is going to grow now. I feel it more so than ever before, and it's because of Bapak's death.
Yeah.
But we must be vigilant. We must watch out, make sure that we don't do anything wrong.
Do you have any messages or anything to tell anybody that might be watching this sometime in the future?
I have a wonderful opportunity. I'm sorry that you can't see Bapak in person or have his guidance. But nevertheless, it's still an opportunity to become something that you're not and be able to worship God. So I think the best thing I can tell you is to be sincere in your worship of God if you have followed and have elected to be a Subud member. I think that's all.
How did you come into Subud?
Well, I came in through a very close friend of mine, who wasn't a close friend at that time, but his name is Marin County, and he owned a bar called the Vagabond. And when I was going to law school, I used to drive a cab and stop in there to have a drink. And every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Harun would leave. And this piqued my curiosity. I asked him, I said, well, where do you go on these days? And he said, look, you wouldn't be interested. And this really piqued my curiosity. I said, what do you mean I wouldn't be interested? And finally one day he said, well, I go to a philosophical group. I said, well, I majored in philosophy at school. And this kind of trapped him. So eventually he had to tell me about Subud. And he told me about it, and I listened to him very respectfully because I liked him. But inwardly I thought he was crazy. So one day after I was absent from San Francisco for about a month or so, I came back, and we went. I had a room at the Iroquois Hotel. This was on O'Farrell Street, right across from the Vagabond. And he came over to my apartment, and he did an unofficial opening. And he's there, he's going Allah, and he's shaking with his hands and everything. And I'm watching him. And I realized that, this man is close to insanity. But again, I didn't want to hurt his feelings, and I didn't say anything. And he said, did you feel anything? I said, sure, whatever. So I just was being polite. I never pursued it after that. And then I left San Francisco, and I went to Los Angeles to put in swimming pools. It was very difficult work. It's iron work. And one night I came home, I was exhausted. And I went to sleep. I was so tired, I went to sleep without even eating. And in the middle of the night, I woke up finding myself going, ah! And I realized at that moment that something really did happen in that hotel room. And that's how I came into Subud.
Pretty good story.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Have you ever had any kind of unusual or, maybe spiritual type experiences that were?
No, everybody else around me has them. I don't. Mine is, Subud to me is a very practical thing. Nothing is spooky.
Yeah.
I like to have something spooky, but nothing spooky.
No. Anything else you'd like to say?
Well, God bless you.
Okay. Thanks, Peter.